On August 31, 1997, the most famous woman in the world died in a car crash. Princess Diana, 36 years old, mother of two, beloved by billions. The official verdict: an accident. But Diana herself predicted it would happen. Months before her death, she wrote a letter. "My husband is planning an accident in my car. Brake failure and serious head injury." She named who she believed would be responsible. That letter was hidden for years. 27 years later, questions remain. Was it really an accident? Or was Princess Diana murdered? This is everything they don't want you to know. Born Diana Frances Spencer, July 1, 1961, she came from an aristocratic family. In 1981, she became engaged to Prince Charles, heir to the British throne. Their wedding was watched by 750 million, transforming Diana into a global icon. She brought a new energy to the monarchy through her fashion, beauty, and charity work. However, behind the scenes, her marriage was troubled. Charles never ended his relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, leading Diana to famously state, "There were three of us in this marriage." She suffered from bulimia, depression, and loneliness, adored by the public but isolated by the palace. After their official separation in 1992, Diana didn't stay quiet. Her 1995 BBC Panorama interview, watched by 23 million, exposed the royal family's coldness, Charles's affair, and her struggles. The palace was furious. Their divorce was finalized in 1996, and Diana was stripped of her Royal Highness title. Yet, she remained the most famous woman alive, and she had powerful enemies. In 1997, Diana began dating Dodi Fayed, son of Egyptian billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed. Mohammed had a complicated history with the British establishment, believing they looked down on him. Diana and Dodi's relationship moved fast, with paparazzi constantly following them, capturing photos worth millions. Rumors spread rapidly. Diana was pregnant. She was going to marry Dodi, convert to Islam, or move abroad with her sons. None were confirmed, but the palace was deeply concerned. The mother of future kings with a Muslim man, potentially pregnant or moving his heirs abroad. Diana had become unpredictable and uncontrollable. She had told friends she possessed information that could bring down the monarchy and was planning to reveal secrets. Then came Paris. On August 30, 1997, Diana and Dodi arrived at the Ritz Paris. Paparazzi swarmed the hotel. In an attempt to evade them, they left from the back exit at 12:20 a.m. On August 31st, in a black Mercedes S280, the driver was Henry Paul, the Ritz security chief, not a professional chauffeur. Diana Dodi and bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones were inside. The car sped through Paris, pursued by paparazzi. At 12:23 a.m., it entered the Ponte de Lama tunnel, clipped a white Fiat Uno, which was never found, lost control, and crashed into the 13th pillar. Dodi Fayed and Henry Paul were killed instantly. Trevor Rees-Jones was critically injured but survived. Princess Diana was severely injured but still alive. What followed raised many questions. The first ambulance arrived at 12:32 a.m., 9 minutes after the crash. Diana was conscious and speaking. However, the ambulance didn't leave the scene until 1:18 a.m., spending 55 minutes there. It then stopped for over 10 minutes en route to the hospital, arriving at 2:06 a.m., an hour and 43 minutes after the crash, despite the hospital being less than 4 miles away. Diana went into cardiac arrest and, after 2 hours of surgery, was pronounced dead at 4 a.m. The cause was internal bleeding from a torn pulmonary vein. The world woke up to devastating news. And 2.5 billion people watched her funeral, but questions began immediately. The French investigation concluded in 1999, ruling it an accidental death caused by Henry Paul being drunk and speeding, with paparazzi pursuit as a contributing factor. Case closed, but Mohammed Al Fayed refused to accept it. campaigning for years, claiming Diana and Dodi were murdered. He pointed to suspicious details. Henry Paul's blood samples possibly switched. Missing CCTV footage from the tunnel. The never-found white Fiat Uno. The delay in getting Diana to the hospital, and Diana's own prediction. In 2004, the British investigation, Operation Paget, began. In 2008, a British jury delivered a verdict of unlawful killing by Henry Paul and the paparazzi. Not murder, but more than an accident. Still, questions remained about evidence never fully explained. Diana's letter, the non-functional CCTV cameras, Henry Paul's mysterious income, the unidentified white Fiat Uno, the 81-minute delay to the hospital which French doctors believed could have saved her, and Trevor Rees-Jones's convenient memory loss. These unanswered questions fueled numerous conspiracy theories. One theory suggests an MI6 assassination, ordered by the establishment. Because Diana was about to embarrass the royal family, possibly pregnant with Dodi's child, about to convert to Islam, or planning to reveal royal secrets. The method was a staged car accident, perhaps using a bright flash to blind the driver. Evidence cited includes Diana's letter and MI6 presence in Paris. Counter-evidence points to a lack of proof and Diana's potential paranoia. Another theory posits the royal family ordered the hit, seeing Diana as a threat to the monarchy's image and an obstacle to Charles marrying Camilla. Her death solved their problem. Diana's letter and the cold palace response are cited, though direct evidence is lacking. Paparazzi manslaughter suggests their reckless pursuit caused the crash, and they photographed Diana dying instead of helping. This is closest to the official verdict. Some believe Henry Paul was a patsy, not drunk, with his blood samples switched, working for French intelligence and set up to take the blame. His extra income and intelligence contacts are noted. Finally, the theory that it really was an accident. A drunk driver, speeding, and a paparazzi chase led to tragedy. Diana's letter is seen as paranoid, and conspiracy theories as products of grief and distrust. Official investigations in 2 countries support this, but the many unanswered questions persist. Diana was not just a victim, she was a threat. What did she know? Affairs, royal treatment of staff, private conversations, and potentially Charles's true feelings about the monarchy. She recorded conversations, kept tapes, and gave documents to trusted friends. She told her lawyer and butler she feared for her life. Her famous letter to Paul Burrell, written 10 months before her death, explicitly stated, "My husband is planning an accident in my car," detailing brake failure and serious head injury to clear his path to remarry. Was she paranoid, or did she know something? The palace dismissed it as her being unwell. But her prediction of a car accident with a head injury, followed by her death in such an accident 10 months later, is a chilling coincidence for many. On August 31, 1997, Princess Diana died in a Paris tunnel. She was 36 years old, a mother, an icon, the most famous woman in the world. The official story: a drunk driver fleeing paparazzi crashed at high speed. A tragic accident. Case closed. But Diana herself didn't believe she would die by accident. 10 months before the crash, she wrote it down. "My husband is planning an accident in my car." She named the method brake failure, head injury. She named the reason so he could remarry. 10 months later, she was dead from a car crash with a head injury. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe the most famous woman in the world knew exactly what was coming. We may never know the truth. The only survivor can't remember. The cameras weren't working. The white car was never found. The blood samples are questioned. The investigation is closed, but the questions remain. 27 years later, millions of people around the world still believe Princess Diana was murdered. Not because they're conspiracy theorists, because the official story has too many holes. Because Diana predicted her own death. Because some coincidences are too big to accept. She was the people's princess. She challenged the most powerful family in Britain. She knew their secrets. And then she was gone. 2.5 billion people watched her funeral. The world mourned, and the questions have never stopped. What really happened in that tunnel? We may never know, but we will never stop asking. Rest in peace, Diana. The truth is still out there,